Hello, welcome to Microsoft Fabric Learning Series. My name is Nagasai. I work with Microsoft as a cloud solution architect in data and AI platform. Today, we are going to talk about migrating the data from SQL Server, Azure SQL, the past service, to the Fabric. Right. I have the sample database created uh, as part of the sample server, and the database name is demo, and the demo has all the adventures works database, which includes the tables, sales, all of these as what you can see here, right? And I will take you to the Fabric and I will create a new lake house, right? This is the workspace I already created, and I'm creating a I'm creating a lake house with the name SQL Migrate, SQL DB Migrate, right? I'm creating a lake house. Yes, the lake house is created. Once the lakehouse gets created, I need to enable through ELT or ETL, creating a pipeline. I can actually move the data from Azure SQL to the lakehouse. I'm going with the option new data pipeline. A pipeline gets created. Now I'm going to name it as Migrate SQL DB as the name of the pipeline. Of course, you can give any name though. Creating the pipeline, which involves some settings on the server, that is the source, and few connections or settings on the destination side. Yeah, so this is how the pipeline looks like. As the source, I'm going to select Azure SQL DB, and you can see there are many connections already available, just like the Azure Data Factory. We have in this experience, we have so many inbuilt connectors. I selected Azure SQL. Now it'll ask me, do I need to create an existing connection or a new connection, right? If you create new connection, what you will have to do is you will have to give the Azure SQL DB name here. For example, if you look at this database, you will have to you will have to provide this server name here, right, in the new connection, the fully qualified name. And the database name is demo, so you'll have to give this. And it'll ask you, because it is a new connection, it is asking you the name for that new connection, right? So you can edit it and you can give a new connection name. But I already had created the connection. One thing to let you know, you have to enable or whitelist the SQL firewall here, right? In the networking, you have to enable or add the firewall, which I already did, as you can see in the in this network configuration. So I'm going to make use of existing connection. I'm not going for new connection. I will make use of existing connection. I will ensure the test connection is successful. I mean, I'm testing the connection. So the test connection is successful, which means on the source side, I was able to select what is my server, what is my database, and now I'm proceeding further. In this screen, basically it will populate all the tables, right? All the existing tables in the source side. You will be able to choose which tables, what are all the tables you would like to migrate, right? So I am actually selecting sales address, sales product, maybe sales customer, and also, I just wanted to ensure I select few tables, right? Of course, you can do everything, or you can migrate all the tables also. I'm just selecting few tables because it is a small demo. You can see these are all the views, right? So the last three are the views, right? I'm not selecting any views. You can see here in the management studio, these are all the views. These three views are also getting displayed there, right? I selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables for the migration, right? I click on next. Now this is the destination side configuration, right? You can actually see it is automatically selecting or detecting the lakehouse that you have. If you recollect, I have a lakehouse created, right, with the name SQL Migrate, right? Or if you want, you can create a new lakehouse also, right? But I'll go with the lakehouse that I created just before starting this demo. Now it will ask me, hey, you wanted to deploy it as a new table because my lakehouse is brand new, right? Or you want to load the data to an existing table, right? I will obviously choose load to the new table, right? Now, if you see, it is actually doing the column mapping, right? If you look at address ID for the sales address table, integer, it is converting, implicit conversion to integer. And var it is converting to string because there are few data types that are supported as part of the lakehouse. You can see the similar mapping, for all the tables that are the 5 tables that we selected, right? So these are the 5 tables we selected. Now I'll go next. So it is asking me, okay, you reviewed, you did the column mapping, and you selected the source, and you also selected the destination correctly, and you had given all the parameters on the destination. It is, definitely good to run, right? It will go on because there are like 5 tables. For each table, it will be performing the load. And it will ask us in few minutes. So here is the variables, right? So I click on OK and I initiated the run. You can see the job. You can see for 5 tables. For each table, you actually have one task is getting actually run. So we will wait for this task or the pipeline to complete the execution. So the idea here is all of these tables from the relational database, they are getting moved to the fabric that too in a lake house as a delta table. You can see the job got succeeded. Now, how do I verify whether whether the tables got moved or not? So go to your workspace. Here is your workspace. And what is the lakehouse you created? SQL Migrate. Click on that. And once you click on that, you can see Lakehouse Explorer, right? So here is the Lakehouse Explorer. You migrated 5 tables. These are the 5 tables. Now, if you click on the table, data will come in the preview, right? How many of our rows are there? You will be able to see all of them as part of this preview, right? We will wait for the preview to load the data. It has created SQL endpoint for my lakehouse. So here is the data that is coming all the way from Azure SQL DB from the sample database to our Microsoft Fabric to a lakehouse, right? As a delta table. As you can see, the table with this triangle symbol, which indicates that it is a delta table, right? So here is how, this is how you can move the data from Azure SQL. As simple as this. You just create a pipeline, provide the source side settings, on the Azure SQL DB side, and choose the destination, which is the lakehouse, and your data gets moved, right? We will do one more quick thing. We move the tables, right? Which is a straightforward thing. We can also move the views as a delta table, right? I can actually create a new pipeline for that, right? Because I don't want to disturb the existing pipeline. This is how you can select a new pipeline. I'm calling it as pipeline 1, 2, 3. You could have seen, or in order to show you, there are like 3 views here, right? So those are the views I'm going to show you how to migrate. And one more thing you should have noticed. You can see these are the tables under the schemas sales LT. But by the time they get moved into the Lakehouse, all of them are under the DBO schema. If you want any change, you need to do it as part of additional programmability. Like you need to create a schema, then move the data. So by default, everything would be in DBO schema only here, right? You can query as good as you know SQL. So choose that experience to SQL endpoint. As you can see on the top from Lakehouse, I selected the SQL endpoint. It is just like the SQL editor, right? Or SSMS basically. So you can run a new query, right? Just like we have SQL Management Studio. You can run a new query. Select star from sales LT underscore customer. You can run it. So all the data from the table can be retrieved here, uh, you know, in this SQL endpoint, right? All the data is coming here like this, right? You can download the results into Excel, or you can visualize it in the form of graphs and so on. And another great thing about this is I'll go back to my workspace. I am going back to the workspace Fabric Lakehouse. You can see a default data set getting created, right? So our lakehouse name is SQL Migrate, meaning within one workspace, can I have multiple lakehouses? Yes, you can create number of lakehouses, right? So in that, there is a SQL endpoint, and at the same time, there is a default data set. If you click on that, here is the default data set, and I can create a report using that data. Maybe I'm choosing the auto create. In the due course of the time, I will show you how to get the report built using Power BI experience here. So it is actually populating with the existing data, right? So our report is ready actually. See here. So basically, whatever the data you got, right, with the data, it is giving us a report like this, whatever the data you got, right? So this is how you can utilize it. So I'll go back to the new pipeline for moving the views here. I will again select my Azure SQL database as a source. And I will choose the existing connection, click on test connect to ensure we provided the right connection and there are no connectivity issues. Choosing the views from the source. This time I'll wait for the existing tables to be populated. And as I said, these are the 3 views. Now my destination is a workspace and Lakehouse. This time it will ask me, it will automatically populate the existing lakehouse, or you can populate as well, right? Or you can select as well. So it is asking me new table or the old table. I selected load it as new table, and it is going for column mappings now. So column mappings are done. And run it. The 3 views also are getting migrated right now as a delta table. let the pipeline run, and then I will take you to the Lakehouse Explorer and ensure we see these three views are also getting migrated as a delta table in the Lakehouse. There are three views. That is why you can see three different tasks are getting spawned here. And for each of the object, the pipeline will run. And that is why you see. So two views already got succeeded. Third view might be in progress. Anytime, any second, it could get completed. OK, everything got succeeded. I will take you back to the SQL Migrate Lakehouse. I will change it to Lakehouse view, Explorer view. So here are the three views, as you can see, right? Those were the views in SQL, I mean Azure SQL, but when it got migrated to Fabric, we were able to convert them as a delta table, right? So if you want it as a separately as a view, maybe we need to use other way, meaning instead of choosing the experience lakehouse, you could choose the experience warehouse and move the data as a SQL object. This is how you can migrate the Azure SQL DB data to Microsoft Fabric. Thank you so much for watching this.